Were you surprised by Paddy's game plan?
I didn't understand his game plan even. He wanted to box with Gaethje, but he couldn't wrestle him, he couldn't box him. He just a little bit young and he has a better chin, but he's a trash can.
Just curious, what did you think about Paddy's chin? Because a lot of people say Justin Gaethje is the hardest hitter they've ever faced.
Yeah, but Paddy got knocked out like 15, 20 times. Yeah, Justin was like 3-4 years ago, he was different. Now it's like he's getting old and it's last a couple fights he got.
I just felt like I did enough. I just felt like I did enough to get the job done. Paddy is getting the beat out of him right now. It looks like, Jesus, this might not end well.
I saw what happened, and I won't let it slide. It's not the first time Justin will do such a cheap tricks of poking eyes like those. His fight against Paddy will be his last. And UFC is only for the real fighters, not the cheater.
Do not get knocked. That Scouser does not get knocked out.
Hold on.
My God.
It was almost like he understood the assignment. We're on Paramount. There's a new network. They're going to be new fans. We need to introduce them to what the UFC is. I think after watching that, everybody that was tuned in are going to be lifelong fans of the UFC. Because on the special nights, there is not a sport in the world that can compare to the UFC, and tonight we have one of those special nights.
Paddy's heart, the grit of this kid. I don't care that he lost the fight. He comes back and murders like most guys.
Yeah.
Like anyone that doesn't have the grit. Like obviously everyone, like myself and everybody else, is worried about how much a fight like this takes out of you. But he's super young.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I think he's young enough to bounce back from a fight like this and to turn it into a superpower moving forward. Because not many people survive Gaethje the way he does, the way he did, or like have moments of greatness late in the fight after taking the hits that he took.
So here's what went down after the massive clash between Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje wrapped up. Fight fans everywhere immediately started going at it, debating whether the actual bout lived up to all those crazy predictions floating around beforehand. One side had these hardcore believers who were totally sold on Paddy's wild unpredictability and non-stop aggression being way too much for Justin to handle. Meanwhile, you had this equally passionate group betting everything on Justin's ice-cold patience and surgical striking precision to see him through. When these two massive camps of opposing predictions collided, it created this post-fight discussion that somehow felt even more explosive and heated than what we actually witnessed inside that octagon.
In the UFC, you were saying stuff like, well, his entrance is good and it's all well and good to get the fans, but he needs to be able to fight. Obviously, we've seen him have great wins before, but to show the durability he had in that fight tonight, do you feel like even though he lost, he will be considered one of the best in that division moving forward?
No doubt about it. I mean, he was the favorite tonight. I think that's what fucked him. Every other one, he's the underdog and everybody thinks he's going to lose. Tonight, he's the favorite. I don't think that his game plan was the greatest. Obviously, tonight he showed he is tough, he is durable, and almost impossible. I mean, especially against Gaethje. And you're eating those punches from him. You know, it's one thing to say, listen, I'm going to come out. I believe in, say, you know what? It's the third round. I got 2 rounds left. I might want to try to take him down and submit him here.
Now, long before that cage door ever clicked shut, tactical mastermind Tim Welch dissected this whole matchup, focusing laser-sharp attention on Justin Gaethje's devastating knack for dealing punishment from the opening bell. His breakdown highlighted how Justin's calf kicks weren't just random leg strikes, but what he called calculated investments for the future. Picture this. Each kick systematically alters an opponent's stance, their movement patterns, their defensive reaction, and through this methodical approach, Justin creates the perfect setup, making his already lethal hands exponentially more threatening as each round passes and fatigue starts creeping in. Pure tactical genius at work.
Congrats to Justin Gaethje. What an unbelievable performance. Paddy the Paddy, oh my God, he impressed the hell out of me. Incredible. He'll learn from that, but I tell you what, he's got what you can't teach. Heart, great determination, all that shit. Yeah, he can make tweaks. You can put the chin down, you can lift the hands up. What he showed tonight is that he is legit. The man is real. and that's for damn sure. He's at the hospital right now. He'll be fine. They're just checking him out. Gotta say though, well done, Justin Gaethje. He was the
Tim Welch, with his sharp analytical eye, dropped a serious reality check about when Paddy Pimblett becomes most exposed to real trouble. Those danger zones typically emerged right when Paddy was pushing forward with his own attacks. His observation was spot on. Nearly every time Paddy would explode into one of his signature combinations, loaded with confidence and forward momentum, his chin would travel right along with him into the firing line. Tim was convinced that just one perfectly placed counter shot from a precision striker like Justin Gaethje during any of these aggressive bursts could instantly shut down the entire evening. Every offensive surge carried massive risk alongside the potential reward.
And I felt that he deviated from the game plan, meaning that if I was in his corner, you're gonna move one. He's got to keep his hands up here. I like the traditional look where you can move, you can elbow, you throw your right hand, right, left, high kick, push kick. You're just way more. This is standard. This is like the best option. But I still feel like he deviated from the game plan where I think he felt that he was going to be able to knock out Justin Gaethje, and I just don't think Paddy Pimblett has that torque. Not saying he can't do it, I just don't think he has the torque to knock out a guy like Justin Gaethje, who's been in wars with guys like Dustin Poirier, Max Holloway. Max Holloway's knocked him out. He's knocked out Dustin Poirier. He's been in wars with Eddie Alvarez. He's just been in a lot of wars on the feet. But when you look at some of the things that, Khabib did to Justin Gaethje, he made it look easy. He took him down, past his.
What made Tim Welch's fight breakdown so captivating and different from your standard analysis was his complete rejection of that oversimplified striker against grappler narrative that everyone defaults to. Instead, he smartly highlighted how extended battles naturally evolve into wild scrambles, and here's what matters most. Those scrambles represent Paddy Pimblett's natural habitat, his comfort zone. So, what appears to be a dangerous striking exchange working against Paddy could instantly morph into these exhausting, grinding grappling battles that don't just wear opponents down physically, but completely shatter their mental fortitude. It was genius-level perspective flipping right there.
The technical aspect to this entire game plan, okay? Gaethje was going to pressure fight him, walking down, guns blazing, turn it into a dogfight, and hopefully he outlasts Paddy, okay? This whole game plan is banking on the fact that he knows he can take more, he can deal more, and he can capitalize on it later in the fight, okay? Because and to be fair, he's got legs to walk with that because he's done it time and time again. And round 3, we saw him be like, okay, I'm gonna take this round off.
I'm gonna back up a little bit.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna stay at mid-range. I'm not gonna walk you down and just let you come back a little bit, try to build some energy. Right? And everyone was worried. Like, honestly, I saw like a glint of disinterest from Gaethje. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, it was weird. But then round 4 just puts his foot back on the pedal, maybe knowing he's got 2 rounds left. Bar fight Gaethje. It was Gaethje of old. It was so.
This is exactly why Tim Welch concluded that the entire fight balanced on an impossibly thin edge, where one perfectly landed strike could instantly rewrite the whole story and shift everything in a heartbeat. Despite acknowledging this extreme unpredictability factor, he still found himself leaning just slightly toward Paddy Pimblett when push came to shove. His logic was that throughout all the inevitable chaotic moments destined to emerge during the fight, Paddy would discover his unique route to victory more consistently, even though none of these pathways would ever feel smooth or guaranteed. He respected Paddy's special talent for creating success within complete mayhem.
That fucker's right. Scousers do not get knocked out. That Scouser does not get knocked out.
I'm a Scouser. We don't get knocked out. We don't get knocked out. I take that all day.
Hold on. My God. What a fucking gangster.
Obviously delivered in the main event, capped off with a war. Just give us your thoughts on Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett delivering a 5-round battle.
Yeah, I mean, what a couple. So Paddy Pimblett at the weigh-ins yesterday says, I'm going to knock this motherfucker out tomorrow. And I was like, that's interesting. And he never abandoned that game plan. Even when, he got dropped a couple times, I kept waiting for him. I'm like, he's eventually going to have to shoot and try to submit him. Now, I didn't know Paddy Pimblett had a chin like that till tonight. And, absolute dogfight in a war, and much respect to both guys.
We haven't seen Justin yet, so we don't know what his status is physically. But, I mean, is the interim, is the unification fight have to be next, or is there a case if he's hurt and needs to be out for a while?
Apparently he's 100%. So we sent Paddy Pimblett straight to the hospital, and then we're going to send Gaethje too. And Gaethje's like, believe me, I've been in plenty of wars. I'm good. So as far as we know right now, he's healthy.
He couldn't even beat the biggest guy in a ring contest.
Legendary coach Teddy Atlas approached this matchup from a completely different angle, deliberately steering the conversation away from raw destruction and toward the fundamental principle of fight control. His breakdown emphasized exactly why Justin Gaethje had to box with intelligence, stressing the absolute importance of continuous lateral movement and clever angle creation, instead of planting himself directly in the path of a relentless hurricane like Paddy Pimblett. True to his reputation for thorough analysis, Teddy also gave proper credit to how dramatically Paddy had developed and refined his overall game during recent years, transforming him into a significantly more threatening and versatile challenge than before.
I'm doing it to Michael Chandler. He's taken on the highlight Justin Gaethje. 26 wins, 5 losses, 20 KOs. The dude fucking KOs people. Early on, he'd calf kick the fuck out of people. He'd calf kick people where they couldn't take it anymore. He had many TKOs from calf kicks alone. The guy is just a dense fucking ball of muscle, built for fighting, 37 years old now. He's crumpled people with his left hook. He's crumpled people with his right hand. Paddy Pimblett is going to have to be very careful throwing his flurries on Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje will sit down and rip a left hook, or sit down, drop his head, and launch a right hand. That's Justin Gaethje's ways to win. He could KO Paddy.
Teddy Atlas specifically pointed out that Paddy Pimblett was visibly looking more powerful, completely comfortable in his own skin, and projecting this unmistakable self-assurance in his fighting identity. He went out of his way to praise the clear upgrades in Paddy's striking abilities, showcasing development that caught many observers off guard. But Teddy, drawing from his wealth of experience, delivered an important reality check. He emphasized that Paddy's natural tendency to engage in unnecessary striking battles could rapidly transform into a serious weakness when facing someone as devastatingly powerful and utterly merciless as Justin Gaethje. Better striking skills paired with risky habits created a dangerous combination against elite power.
I'd love to see fucking Justin Gaethje with the title around his waist. He earned it. Justin Gaethje's fought all these fucking monsters his whole goddamn career. Edson Barbosa, Donald Cerrone, Eddie Alvarez, Dustin Poirier, Khabib, Michael Chandler, Charles Oliveira, Fiziev twice, Dustin Poirier again, Max Holloway. Like, holy shit. He's fought the elite. So I'd love to see Justin Gaethje get it done. If I had to put, fuck, this is hard. If someone gave me $10,000 to bet with, and they said, hey, put it on who you think's going to win. God. I'm going to say 60-40. 60-40. 40% chance that Justin Gaethje knocks Paddy Pimblett out. Hits him on his chin. When Paddy Pimblett's flirting, hits him right on his fucking, hits him right on the scouser chin. Bunk. Gets dropped. 40% chance, I think. 60% chance this fight, Justin's not able to find him. It's a little bit, it's like a spastic, weird style. He's not able to find his chin. If Paddy Pimblett puts him on his back, it's going to be a long night for Justin Gaethje.
Drawing on how youth and forward momentum typically demonstrate their real impact during the championship rounds, Teddy Atlas found himself leaning cautiously, but definitively toward Paddy Pimblett. This wasn't because he detected any signs of decline or deterioration in Justin Gaethje. Absolutely not. Rather, Teddy recognized that Paddy seemed to possess greater natural ability to modify his approach and respond effectively within the guaranteed chaos that emerges during those crucial final rounds. This assessment came with full acknowledgement that every exchange, every split second would continue carrying genuine and immediate danger, creating a high-level strategic battle even when exhaustion set in.
Younger, will youth be served with Pimblett? Maybe. Gaethje, experience, good striker. He's well-rounded everywhere, but he's got to use the assets of a smaller guy. We've seen it, where you got to box, you got to use your legs, you got to set traps. You know, he's got the capability of doing that. Outmaneuver, outflank Pimblett. You know, Pimblett, let me tell you, he has improved a lot over the last 2 years. He really has, bud. He has gotten better. He's gotten more. You could see he's come into his own. Confidence-wise, physically, he's in great shape. They usually all are. But he's improved. His striking has improved. He's a good wrestler, grappler. But he loves to strike. That's what's going to make this fight really interesting and good. They're both going to strike. I mean, for the most part, they're both going to strike.
Max Holloway, bringing his trademark combination of unfiltered truth and exceptional fight intelligence, reduced this entire matchup to something beautifully simple yet absolutely crucial: pure toughness and chin strength. His breakdown centered on whether Paddy Pimblett could somehow weather Justin Gaethje's crushing power without eventually cracking under the pressure, without giving in to that relentless assault. Max envisioned the fight potentially shifting through just one key moment where someone gets hurt, one unexpected scramble, or one dramatic momentum swing that completely rewrites the script and determines who walks away victorious. Everything came down to who could absorb more punishment.
I think youth might be served here, but I would go with the over on this because I think the over-under is like
2.5 rounds.
How many?
2.5 rounds over minus 115.
All right, listen. Again, we have a pretty good record here, but, you know, I mess up once in a while. I do. That's why it's gambling. But I like the over. I like the over. I mean, if Gaethje fights the perfect fight, you never know. You never know. But I know who the judges are probably favoring. Oh, did I say that? I'm sorry. It shouldn't be anything about that. It should just be about what goes on in the cage or in the ring. But I can't help myself but think about things that I see. So maybe, Gaethje would really have to do a job, I think, to get it, which he could. But I think I probably favor Pimblett a little bit. But at the end of the day, if I had to put my bucks down.
Simultaneously, Max Holloway spoke with complete directness about Justin Gaethje's terrifying knockout power, explaining how he needs just one clean, well-timed connection to completely disrupt an opponent's flow, destroy their confidence, and hijack all their forward momentum. His emphasis was on how Justin's strikes are engineered to inflict serious, fight-altering punishment every time they find their target, making any extended striking battle into a continuous high-risk proposition for anyone willing to stand and trade with him. This constant threat meant prolonged stand-up wars always carried massive danger.
And with Paddy, because if he can eat it, I can see Paddy catching Gaethje and maybe almost like a Oliveira fight, catch Gaethje, hurt Gaethje wobble, and then get to Gaethje's back or something, maybe sub him. You know what I mean? Like Paddy is very well rounded. He out wrestled wrestlers, he out grappled grapplers. He stands with you. He doesn't care. He throws. Everybody be like his chin is in the air. He takes shots. Yeah, he takes shots and he still walks forward. How long will that last? We don't know. And that's the question I have to this fight. Or what his reaction is going to be when Justin Gaethje catches him.
The thoughtful Marouz approached this bout like a perfect 50-50 proposition, declaring there was zero possibility for any middle ground outcome whatsoever. His vision included two dramatically different scenarios. Either Justin Gaethje would methodically dismantle Paddy Pimblett through sustained accumulating punishment, gradually grinding him down until complete breakdown occurred, or alternatively, Paddy would somehow endure that opening storm and survive long enough to successfully pull the fight into his preferred chaotic grappling dominated environment where he operates best. This extreme all-or-nothing uncertainty, this complete absence of a clear frontrunner made the matchup absolutely captivating and impossible to look away from.
For me, this is a flip-up, bro. I'm not surprised if any of these guys win, because I can see two clear paths to these guys winning. I can see Gaethje catching Paddy, putting him down, finishing him. Then I can see Pimblett catching Paddy, Pimblett catching Gaethje, maybe knock him out or hurt him enough to where he can get a submission. I think so. Paramount, the UFC did a really great really great job of putting this first Paramount card together. From the main card, the first main card fight to the main event is sick. It's gonna be action packed, and you fans are gonna love it. The new fans are gonna love it. I mean, Gaethje is just violence. Paddy Pimblett doesn't run away from violence. It's gonna be a fun fight. Like I said, I don't know who to choose. I'm not choosing no one. I see both guys. I think this is a coin flip. I think whoever can endure the more damage is gonna win this one.
Through the expert lens of legendary Demetrius Johnson, the primary pathway to victory for Paddy Pimblett revolved entirely around maintaining unpredictability while consistently creating grappling opportunities. Johnson carefully detailed how even elite scramblers like Justin Gaethje occasionally create tiny, vulnerable positional openings during those frantic transitions. Those brief, easily missed moments represent exactly when submissions can quietly materialize, seemingly from thin air, particularly when Paddy's timing, innovation, and technical execution come together flawlessly. Success depended on capitalizing during those microscopic opportunity windows.
But with that being said, let me get to the keys of victory for both these guys. When you look at Paddy Pimblett, the keys of victory for Paddy Pimblett has got to be dynamic. We're starting to see Paddy Pimblett become more comfortable inside the octagon. So the key victory number one for Paddy Pimblett is be dynamic, meaning that if Justin Gaethje puts you against the cage, don't be scared to do a flying triangle. If Justin Gaethje tries to go for a dump, go for a Kimura, because 9 out of 10 times when he does that, he's able to turn it into something that favors him in the fight. Key number two, grapple. When you look at Justin Gaethje's past fight, when people grapple him that have a good grappling ability, he seems to have hard times with grapplers, where people, you know, when people drop him, Charles Oliveira dropped him, he crossed the void, jumped on him, got his back, submitted him with a rear naked choke. You look when he fought Habib took him down, passed his guard, mounted him, got a triangle from top and rolled to his back. Now I feel like Paddy Pimblett has that grappling ability that can oppose some problems to Justin Gaethje, but
Demetrius Johnson, always the balanced and perceptive analyst, tackled the frequently mentioned competition level discussion without ever downplaying Paddy's legitimate abilities. His explanation was that once grappling positions get established on the ground, once you're locked in genuine mat warfare, external factors like reputation or opponent resumes become completely irrelevant. Within that raw, unforgiving environment, what actually determines outcomes is flawless technique, perfect balance, and razor-sharp timing. These core elements carry infinitely more weight than any name recognition or previous accomplishment records. Pure skill becomes the only currency that matters.
Thought he got the better of. This was a great scrap. I have no idea how Paddy Pimblett did not get flatline KO'd on about 50 different occasions. If he lost, yes, he did lose, and if he lost any stock from this, the one saving grace is that he's been saying for a long time, we don't get knocked out, lad. And that would be the worst thing to happen to him. If he got KO'd in one of these fights badly, that would just be his ridicule forever. What happened to Scousers don't get knocked out, and it'd just be images of Paddy Pimblett out cold. I have no idea how he didn't get flatlined in this fight. Justin Gaethje was cracking him with so many overhand rights. And the worst part was, it's not even like you were understanding why he took the shot so well. Oh, he was rolling with that one. Oh, he tucked into that one a little bit. He saw it coming. I could see the shots coming. I was wincing while Gaethje was loading up because you could see Pimblett leaving exchanges with his chin up in the air and just getting his whole jaw span. And somehow he's still in the fight and throwing back. Absolutely crazy fight. Need to win, but I am going to bring up the fouls. Gaethje fought very fucking dirty in this fight. A lot of eye pokes. A groin shot as well. I think Paddy Pimblett had a groin shot that he landed too. But that was towards the end of the fight where it was just an absolute mess of a scrap between the two of them. But Gaethje landed some really, really bad eye pokes on him. But it doesn't matter because the result is the result. Pimblett gets beaten over.
Due to what he identified as Paddy Pimblett's clear freshness advantage and enhanced preparation quality, Demetrius Johnson eventually sided with him for the victory. His reasoning focused on how Paddy's relatively lighter recent fight activity created better recovery periods and consequently more explosive performances when everything was on the line. This perspective found support from Volk, who similarly viewed the fight less as a raw power or size examination and more as a deep evaluation of evolution and adaptability. Volk carefully backed Paddy while making absolutely clear this wouldn't be anything resembling a comfortable or straightforward evening for the rising contender.
Justin Big Rufus Gaethje puts on a very destructive performance against Paddy Pimblett. Kind of sloppy, little bit of a street beefs masterclass, if that's the word that you want to use to describe these two. Just standing in the pocket, swinging, trading, falling all over each other. There was some goofy takedown attempts and scrambles. But what it came down to is, like I said in the prediction video, Paddy Pimblett at that long range was landing some nice calf kicks. His jab was working quite well against him. We knew that Justin Gaethje, when he defends, ducks down into strikes, and Paddy Pimblett was able to land some nice knees up the middle, some nice head kicks. There was a couple of fouls back and forth that we'll talk about in this fight as well, but mostly it came down to at range, Paddy Pimblett could do well, and he was kind of trying to force maybe a bad exchange out of Justin Gaethje where he could get some grappling going, but really didn't go for the takedowns in this fight. He's not really a guy that will shoot a takedown and wrestle.
Building on his previous analysis, Bedtime MMA painted the fight as this absolutely insane and unpredictable war between Gaethje and Pimblett, fully embracing the chaotic tendencies both fighters bring to every encounter. But on the completely opposite end of the prediction landscape, respected analysts like Dan Hardy and Bilal Muhammad both threw their support definitively behind Justin Gaethje. Their reasoning centered on his proven track record of successfully neutralizing standard submission attempts, a vital asset when facing grapplers like Pimblett. They also stressed Justin's tactical approach of exhausting opponents through sustained striking rather than getting pulled into energy-draining wrestling battles. Most importantly, they recognized the undeniable truth that extended periods of stand-up striking have consistently favored Justin's unbreakable composure, his fight-ending power, and his remarkable ability to perform under the brightest lights.
But at the end of the day, like, watching this fight, you do kind of just have to laugh to yourself because they're fighting tooth and fucking nail. They're scrapping for the honor of getting slimed out by fucking Ilia Topuria. Like, we already knew that before this fight, but nothing in this fight has convinced me otherwise that Ilia does not KO both these guys in like 2 rounds flat. I know that's not a hot take or unpopular opinion, but yeah, Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett, they went out there, they had a crazy brawl. Ilia's probably gonna get on. This was like two drunk dogs fighting for the bone. You know what I mean? That's how Ilia would describe it, but it was entertaining.